And Violent Wrestling Podcast is live on the air. And I am one of your hosts, Ambrose Alley, with my co host, the
Ma-
Mox.
Mox. Dun dun dun.
Yeah,
And the
we have
crowd
to
goes
do it up right
mild.
here.
Yeah, the crowd goes mild.
Goes wild.
Nah. How you
It's not
been?
going to go mild, it's going to go wild.
It's not like a Dane coming back pop, but I'll take a clap or two.
Clap, clap,
we
clap,
haven't t-
clap, clap.
we haven't talked in a week. How have you been?
I've been doing okay. How about you?
Doing swell, doing swell. Watching some wrestling.
Oh, wrestling, wrestling. Now, why
Wrestling.
would you want to do something like watching wrestling?
I don't know. It feels like it's becoming just a habit anymore with especially a certain product that we'll get into later, that it's not even like it's enjoyable to some degree, but now it's a certain Sunday or a Monday at 7 p.m. my time, and that's what you do on Mondays at 7 p.m. But we'll get into that later.
I guess
Plus,
we can. Oh, go ahead.
no, go. Oh, you first, ladies first.
No, you go ahead.
I was just
I
gonna.
did the introduction. You go next.
Oh, let's kick off Sunday. We had. We're gonna go real quick through Sunday's pay per view, Extreme Rules, and Monday Night Raw. Neither one of us watched SmackDown Live. We know the results and stuff, but it's kind of silly for us to give opinions if neither one of us actually watched it. I will say, woohoo, go
Yeah.
Becky. Becky's on a winning streak. Becky's on a winning streak.
Well,
And
we
she
know a
gets a
couple people who'd be happy that Becky's on her winning streak.
Metal Matt. Metal Matt.
Did you say Metal Matt?
Yeah, I sure did. And she gets a
Okay.
title opportunity, I think next week against Carmella. We know that's not going to end well, but I hope it does. So I want her to be champ again.
She needs the belt again. Get it off of Mela.
Now you're going to make the other Matt upset. Our two Matts are having their own little feud, Becky versus Carmella. Anyway, the Extreme Rules card. A lot of people did not like this show, like at all. Some did, and I'm on the some did wagon. It wasn't the greatest thing ever, but it wasn't backlash either. Like it was enjoyable for what it was. It, I graded it a C to maybe B, and a lot of people were F minus and worst show ever, worst pay per view of the year. It wasn't that bad. So on the pre-show, we kick off with Sin Cara versus Almas. Pretty good match. Couple scary spots. The Hurricanrana off the top rope onto the floor was kind of botched, and that looked scary. And then there was right before that was a apron bomb from the same turnbuckle onto the apron that looked not necessarily botched, just unnecessary and painful as hell. But it was a fun match. It's Sienna Almas, so he's pretty good at this wrestling thing.
Oh, he is, huh?
Oh yeah, he's all right. He's decent. No, he's really good. And then you add in Selena Vega and Hard Eyes. Plus she's just perfect as the hill bitch. Like she's really good at that role.
Better than Katrina?
Uh and this is just my bias. She's there, but Katrina's on a different level. Like Katrina's here, and Selena Vega's just right below her, but she's miles ahead of, say, back when Lana was with Rusev in the Machka. Like she's miles ahead of that.
Okay, so
Um,
she
Go
so
ahead.
she's better than Lana, but and almost as good as Katrina.
Yeah, like she's good at her job, just like Cien Almas is good at his job. Plus, unlike Lana, Selena Vega can actually wrestle, and she's got some moves. This was about a 10-minute or so match, 12 minutes, maybe a little shorter, maybe a little longer. Who cares? Um, Almas goes over. Um, the next match was a tables match, New Day Sanity. And this is still in the pre-show. Fun match. It's 6 men in a table match. There's going to be some chaos. Nothing really happened. Sanity won. Um, the only real cool spot was the ending with Eric Young jumping off the top turnbuckle and giving a leg drop to I forget which member of New Day, and it was just if they would have been on the May card with more time, the match would have been better. This was just, hey, we need to fill up, you know, time on the pre-show.
Right.
Both good teams. They just didn't. Good match. It wasn't a bad match. Moving on to the main show, we start with the leaders of the world, Matt and I almost said Matt and Jeff. That just comes naturally, right? Saying Matt
Yeah,
and a
Matt and
tag team.
Jeff.
Yeah, Matt, and then I almost said Matt White.
Matt
Matt
and Bray.
Hardy, yeah, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt against the B team. Uh, Decent match, and B team are your new Raw tag team champions.
They deserve it.
Oh, absolutely. And that was what a way to, as your opening match, shock the crowd because who would have thought, the former Outcast and the former Mistourage and now Raw Tag Team Champions. That was a pretty cool moment. Then you have the underlying, Bo beat Bray. They're out of kayfabe brothers. Like they're family. They grew up together. They are brothers.
Right.
For his first of any kind of championship on the main roster. So that was also a pretty cool thing. Decent match. Nothing to talk about it really. Between that and the next match, Brock he doesn't do an interview, but Kurt gives an ultimatum that Brock has to either come to terms for a match to defend the belt or show up on Raw the next day, or he's going to strip him of the belt. And the crowd absolutely biggest pop of the night is when Kurt said, or I'm going to strip him of the belt. Pittsburgh went crazy when he
Well,
said that
yeah.
because we all
Everyone
want
wants
the
belt off of Brock.
that kind of reaffirmed the like everybody wants the damn belt off of Brock. Um, then we go to Balor versus Corbin. This just a standard match, good match. Nothing extreme about it at all. Balor wins by a roll up, which was kind of funny. A small package.
Yeah.
And because the whole leading up to it was Corbin calling Balor small, and Corbin loses to the small package.
Yeah. Well, that actually works out in getting a lot of the really tall men is to get them in the small package.
Yeah, and they played it perfectly. Um, I'm hoping they're done with the Balor Corbin stuff. I hope both of them move on because it seems like a lot lately there's the I'm a big guy, you're a little guy kind of stuff. Even in the women with Nia and Alexa, there's too much repetitiveness going on with those kind of feuds. I'm big, you're small. Ha ha ha.
Right.
and they could both do better outside of this feud. Good match. Corbin is. I've always been a Corbin fan, but once he became constant, oh yeah, and if he's listening, he would send me hate mail. The Stephanie appointed Raw Constable Barry Corbin has really come into his own since being appointed Constable Corbin.
Oh, they gave him something to work with.
Yeah, he always had that in him. He just had nothing to work with. Now they gave him something and he's running with it. Like I say, good match. Nothing. It wasn't spectacular by any means, but then we cut back to backstage. Team Hell No is getting um, stomped by Legend Brothers, and apparently a plastic mallet can break an ankle.
I guess if it hit just right, it could.
On a 7-foot demon. And a toy mallet you could buy, or could have before they closed, buy from Toys R Us, will do some severe damage to a demon. So we're left wondering, what's going to happen later in the night about that tag. We go to Asuka versus Carmella, and I really don't want to talk about this. I'll say Mella wins, and this was a shit show. This was a bad match. It lasted about 5 minutes, and Ellsworth in a shark cage, and that's about all I want to.
I think they're overusing the shark cage.
This is what, the third or fourth one just in the last 18 months.
Yeah, something like that.
Jericho, this one. Shoot, I'm not going to try to, but it does seem like a lot here lately, like shark cage, shark cage, shark cage.
Well, of course, we're coming up on Shark Week.
Well, yeah, but in every single one of them, the shark cage does nothing. Like, it's once they say, "Oh, and you're going to be in a shark cage," it's like, "Oh, here comes the bullshit."
Well, it's the same thing. Remember when the steel cage used to keep people out?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. And a real bad match. I made one comment in my notebook about Asuka attacking the employees. Like, shouldn't she be suspended? Making a reference to Ronda being suspended for attacking employees
Kurt.
on Monday. Yeah, like doing like, I mean, right's right, wrong's wrong. Shouldn't she be suspended? And we move on to Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And
Shinsuke Nakamura.
I will never try to do that again on air. Before the match starts, when the ref is ringing the bell, Shinsuke kicks Jeff right in the baby maker. Jeff goes down. Go ahead.
Why does Nakamura always have to go for the nards?
It's really getting kind of old. I mean, it was already old with the AJ feud. Like once, twice, haha. Oh, that proved you're a heel, but just this repetitive, like that's, especially for somebody like Nakamura, that's so much more than just a dick kick. Like, do something else than that. But then the ref turns around after ringing the bell, or turns around, sees Jeff, asks if Jeff is okay. Jeff says, "Yeah, I'm fine." Ref turns back around, rings the bell. 6 seconds later, we have a new United States champion in Shinsuke Nakamura. But before he could celebrate, I hear voices in my head. Randy Orton returns.
Yeah, I heard he's coming back as the heel, the Viper.
Yep.
The legend killer.
I said it out loud watching with my family. He's turning heel. He's turning heel. Because he got a pretty loud pop, and he's turning heel. He's not going to attack Shinsuke. He's coming after Jeff. And lo and behold, he gets in the ring, looks, and by now Shinsuke's standing on the table, looking at Randy like, "What are you doing here?" And poor Jeff, still laid out, hands grabbing his balls. And Randy turns around and guess what? Just stomps the shit out of Jeff's balls. And then looks at Shinsuke. Shinsuke looks back. Shinsuke gave a weird look, like a confused look. And Randy left, or we went to commercial, or but yeah,
We need
Jeff
the
being
legend killer.
yeah, Jeff being a true blue face, that was a heel turn. I didn't watch it, but on SmackDown, and then he ripped out or tried ripping out Jeff's gauge piercings in his ear, just to confirm, like, yeah, I'm a heel now, which that's the best Orton.
It is
Legend
the best
Killer,
order. When
Legend
he's the
Killer,
legend killer,
yeah,
he's
Legend Killer, Psycho, crazy as fuck. Randy Orton is the best Randy Orton.
the Viper. You
And then
don't
we
turn your
go.
back on him.
So I don't know how you can rate a 6 second match, but KO versus Braun in a steel cage. My internet unfortunately stopped midway through. Came right back on just at the perfect time to see Kevin Owens being choke slammed or thrown off the top of the cage by Braun. So Kevin Owens wins or loses, however you want to look at it. Kevin Owens' feet touch the ground first. He gets stretchered out. I can't really say much about it since I didn't watch it, but I saw that part. And what I've heard is I didn't miss much except Kevin Owens being repeatedly, his head slammed into the side of the cage.
Everyone wanted to see Kevin Owens go through the cage.
And I didn't, because that's also something else they've been doing too much of. It seems like every time there's a Hell in a Cell or a cage match, and Braun, Brock, Roman, somebody's going through the damn wall of the cage, and that's getting really old. We move on to Bludgeon Brothers versus Team Hell No. But Kane doesn't come out with Daniel because Kane is hurt. Towards the end of the match, Kane finally comes out with a cast on his ankle, hence the apparently plastic mallets can break ankles. And then later we found out, like, Kane is really hurt. Like, he hurt his leg, broken ankle or something the day before, 2 days before. So I wonder
So they had to play it up.
Yeah, I wonder what they would have done if he wouldn't have been hurt, because Bludgeon Brothers retain, and now just spur of the moment thinking, like, I wonder if that's obviously they wouldn't have written it like that, but would they have gone with Bludgeon Brothers retaining? Like, how would they have written it if Kane wasn't shoot hurt?
Right.
Because the theory going in was they were going to turn on each other, or there were many theories out there of what was going to happen. The initial one was Miz was going to cost Team Hell No and start the feud with Daniel Bryan, until we found out the Miz was at the Celebrity All-Star Baseball game at the same time. So that wasn't a possibility. I don't think they would have put the belts on Team Hell No, but something may have happened other than babyface Daniel Bryan going against two big Bludgeon Brothers by himself for the most part. Roman versus Bobby is next. It did not main event, even though everybody and their mama swore up and down it's going to main event. It was mid-card. It's what you expect from Bobby and Roman. It was a pretty decent house fight. I mean, you're not going to get, moonsaults or shooting star prices, or you're going to get two guys beating the shit out of each other, and that's what we got. And just like everybody knew it was going to main event, everybody knew Roman was going to go over, and Bobby Lashley wins with one spear. Decent match, and I like house fighting. I like
Hmm.
that the brutality of it, the violence.
Of course, you got to have the violence.
I wish they would have done a stipulation with that match to some degree. Like we won't ever see like first blood or anything again in WWE, but something besides just to make it more violent, if you will. Good match. I mean, move on to Nia versus Alexa. Oh God, the worst two matches on the card were the two women matches. Alexa retains. Whole bunch of bullshit with Mickie James, Natalia, and Ronda Rousey. Um, as everybody could see going in, that it was about Ronda Rousey and nobody else. Alexa took a bump though. She went face first, stomach first through a trash can. So she took a bump at least.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So you can't say she never takes a bump because she takes a couple. You might be able to count them on one hand, but she takes bumps. AJ versus Rusev. AJ retains. Really good match. Which I mean, it's AJ and Rusev.
It's going to be a good match.
Yeah, and not just the AJ part, but Rusev is a really damn good wrestler.
Yes,
And
he is.
yeah, he's stuck in purgatory hell, or he was, but he got his first one-on-one opportunity at the world title, and he delivered.
He Rusev pretty much always delivers.
True, yes, I can't dispute that. But this was a bigger stage, like even coming out on a tank at WrestleMania, like that's a big ass stage.
Right.
This is more of an intimate big stage, if you will. They just need to do something. I'm almost coming to the point where I'm tired of the AJ title run, if that makes sense. Not as tired as I am with Brock, but it's starting to feel the same. Like at least AJ's there every week, but
At least you
I,
get to see the title.
yeah, it's a little monotonous. Like after the Knock feud and like, let's. I'll give it a little more time, and supposedly his next feud is going to be with Samoa Joe, so we'll see. Good match. At that moment was my match of the night, and then we go to Seth versus Dolph in a 30-minute Iron Man match. Loved it. I'm not going to get into the backlash of the crowd doing the countdown, and it did get old like 10 minutes in or so. The first couple of times, like, dude, they're counting down the clock. Morris just would do it with them. Like, 10, 9, 8. It didn't upset us. It got a little, especially when they started, I guess they took the clock off of the Titantron and they started doing it not on time and like every 20 seconds. That was, no, don't do that. It really didn't, I was too busy focusing on the match to worry about what the hell the crowd's doing
Right.
because it was a great match. I couldn't give a shit what the crowd was doing. Um, and the falls in the 30-minute go 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 for Seth. Then you get old Drew McIntyre in the mix and interferes, roughs Seth up. So we go from 3-0 Seth to 3-1, 3-2, 3-3 Dolph. Tied. Dolph scores another fall, makes it 3-4. Seth comes back, ties it 4-4. I wrote one note that Drew came back after he was sent, banned to the back. Came back and after it was 3-0, he kept hitting Seth. Shouldn't that be another fall for Seth? Okay, this fall's over at DQ. That's 3-0. And if you come back and keep beating the dude, that fall's already over. So we're in a new fall. So sorry, that's just how my mind works. So they had just announced, Seth is up, JoJo announced, Seth is up 3-0. And then Drew comes back and beats Seth up again. Like, that should be another fall, like disqualification. But anyway, a great match. And the ending kind of, because with it tied and Dolph's music hits and we're going off air, Dolph retains because in a tie, it's a draw, so he keeps the championship. Kurt comes out, and I'm talking about Extreme Rules a lot longer than I thought. Kurt comes out and says, no, that's not how we do things on Raw. One more fall, winner takes the belt. 16 seconds later, Drew comes back out through the crowd, distracts Seth. Ziggler hits him with a famouser, and 1, 2, 3. Seth retains, wins the Iron Man match.
You mean Dolph, not Seth?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Dolph wins the Iron Man match. Confused myself there.
Well, while you were watching Extreme Rules, I was catching up on some back matches of Rocky Mountain Pro Wrestling.
Nice.
Something that entertained me a little bit more, trying to get caught up on the backstories.
And you're catching them on Twitch, correct?
I am watching them on Twitch.
Okay.
But if you have trouble with Twitch, you can also find it on YouTube.
What's their YouTube channel?
Rocky Mountain Pro.
Okay.
And at Twitch, they're at the Rocky Mountain Pro.
Okay. Just making sure they get their plugs.
Oh, I will plug them heart and soul.
Are we not doing phrasing anymore? Sorry. I've been on a phrasing kick yesterday and today. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. God, you should have heard my ramblings last night. I rambled.
What happened in RMP on the back matches?
Oh, I was mainly getting into the problem with Filter and his tag team partner. How his tag team partner's been screwing him over.
Oh, okay.
But Filter's been holding his own, and it looks like he's got backup in the Left Coast Gorillas.
The Left Coast Gorillas are helping Filter?
Yeah, the most dangerous tag team in the world, as they like to build themselves.
Are they going to try to start a faction, does it look like? Or?
I think the Left Coast Gorillas are just going to take over and say, listen, we're going to play by our game rules.
Wonder where that leaves Filter.
Part of him. He's, from the looks of it, from what I saw, actually it was in the first show I saw, when they came out and backed up Filter, because Filter was being ganged up on.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I'm sorry. I confused myself again. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It looks like Filter might be an unofficial member of the Left Coast Gorillas.
Okay, yeah,
But that's what I was watching instead of Extreme Rules.
course. And I honestly, and I gave the show a good review. I really don't blame you, which leads to the heart of our topic. I don't know how long we've been on air. I talked way more about Extreme Rules than I was going to. I was just going to do a quick rundown and then, but that's kind of also the point of you doing a quick rundown with these long ass shows aren't even quick. Like you can't really, unless you just want to be a jerk, for the people listening. This match happened, this match happened, this match happened, this match happened, this one, so and so won, so and so won. Next, like,
Right.
when you have 12 matches, it takes a little bit to get through to talk about. Leading us to WWE products, main roster products. NXT and 205 Live are fire, but main roster product being in a holding pattern.
It is. It's in a holding pattern. In my personal opinion, as to our listeners, this is my opinion. They they haven't really done anything. It's been the same thing for the past 7, 8 months. They cut and pasting it again. And I'm finding it hard to watch the product. The only reason I'm in a holding pattern and kind of tune in every now and then lately is I'm just waiting for Dean Ambrose to return.
Yeah. That's, like I've said before, it's almost three reasons I watch. My son enjoys it. Waiting for Dean to come back, so I really watch, pay-per-views and Raw because he's not going to come back on SmackDown. And a habit, just it's a habitual thing, especially with Mondays. I don't have cable, I don't have satellite. I have my antenna and internet. I don't stream them illegally, folks. I have USANetwork.com, so don't come at me with that. But and it's just almost. I'm coming to realize like it's Monday 7 p.m. My time is when it comes on. It's Monday Night Raw time. It's habit.
Right.
Like, and if you don't have cable like myself on Mondays, ABC is playing The Bachelorette. No thanks. NBC plays. Wow, America's Got Talent or something like that. Don't know. Um, CBS plays drama shows, NCIS or whatever. That I haven't watched that kind of stuff in years. Fox, I believe. I couldn't even tell you what Fox plays, like Master Chef or something. I'll check that out every once in a while. I don't think that's on Mondays though. Whatever Fox plays, like the off channels we get.
Yeah.
Just all rerun, like the Lab Channel and Quest, and like I can watch those shows anytime. It's just 7 o'clock on a Monday. It happens to be the excuse me. And yes, I could seek out other channels to watch live things, but just out of habit, usanetwork.com/videos/live, and put it up on the TV and we watch Raw.
Well, at least you got Morris to watch it with you.
Yeah, and I do have to say that makes it a lot more enjoyable. I probably, I don't know where I'd be, and this is not like in life, but it kind of goes that way. As far as watching wrestling, where I'd be without Morse. I don't know if I would have already thrown my hands up with Raw or WWE main roster stuff. I don't know where I'd be on it. Me personally, it makes him happy, so it makes me happy. I do a couple podcasts about it, so I have to take notes and stuff, and that's about where I am with the current. And I'm trying to think. You said 7 or 8 months. I'm trying to think of when I. And I don't try shitting on the product. Don't get me wrong. Like what's going on, between the competitors, the wrestlers, performers, whatever you want to call them. Like they're putting on some good stuff. It's just the storylines, the creative, the booking. I'm not trying to fault like what I'm actually watching them do, but that's still really good stuff. Sometimes.
Right.
Why do you think they're in a holding pattern? You call it a holding pattern, which is why I used it. I call it a lull because and everybody's go to is one of two things. And I want to see what you think.
Well, I call it a holding pattern for the simple reason um there's nothing fresh there. There they need to get out of this cut and paste and try to write at least one storyline that can carry for a few months. But they don't. Everything is short. And
Yeah,
it's the same storyline over and over. Nakamura with his gonad kicks.
right.
That's old. You
And
see
take
him and
up
you know he's going to do it.
right.
And
It's
he's so
not
much better.
it's not if, it's when. Like you know it's coming. It's just when.
Yeah. And whereas I'm watching Rocky Mountain Pro, you don't get that. There's a storyline and they're carrying these stories through.
And when the current main roster product tries, and I guess it's been 3 weeks now, 3 weeks, maybe a month, when Bailey finally snapped on Sasha. You put them in fucking counseling? Like, really?
Okay, it worked with Kane and
Team
Daniel
Help.
Bryan because
Yeah.
they had the chops to pull it off.
Yeah, they had the charisma. And not saying that Bailey and Sasha don't, but not in this environment. One of the
Right.
things that was so funny about Team Hell No was, A, just look at Team Hell No. Look at big ass Kane. Look at little bitty ass Daniel Bryan. Look at
Right.
Kane getting counseling. That alone is pretty gold stuff. Kane, full Kane mask and everything, getting counseling, and trying to, uh, come out with his emotions and trying to emote, like that's funny in itself. And then how they played off of each other. And then Dr. Shelby, it just clicked. It worked.
They all three had the chemistry together.
Yeah. Um, and Bailey and Sasha are fine. They're both very charismatic. They're great characters. You can argue till the cows come home about booking and stuff, but they don't work in that environment together. You could maybe, swap one for somebody else and it might work. but together that just didn't work, like at all. And at the time that they did it, everything just. But and this is what you're referring to. Yeah, the Team Hell No counseling was what 5 years ago or so, but it was still literally copy and paste, same therapist, same. They even had the poster behind the therapy couch of the Team Hell No. Like it was, they tried replicating or duplicating what they did with Team Hell No.
And it didn't work.
Yeah, you can't. It fell flat on its face, and they all tried. Don't get me wrong, they tried. They did the best they could with what they were given.
Yeah. But
It just
they should just let Bailey and Sasha play it out, like trying to kill each other.
and then Monday you get this segment. Um, it starts off earlier with Kurt with Bailey, and I'm not going to run down the Raw. I spent too much time on Extreme Rules. You get Kurt backstage with Bailey, and Bailey's, Sasha's not here. I don't, what were we supposed to do about therapy or whatever she says? And well, you find Sasha, and we settle in the ring. So guess what? You're gonna tag together tonight. You're gonna face Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox. Okay, hey, what the fuck? You just sent them to counseling, and he used we settled this in the ring. Like, oh shit, he's gonna put a match together, Bailey versus Sasha. Therapy didn't work. Let them fight. No, he tags them together with and if you don't get along, one of you will be traded to SmackDown. Fast forward, they have the match with Dana and Alicia. Alicia and Dana are beating up Bailey. Sasha comes, does the save, looks at Bailey, walks off. Later, backstage moment, Bailey or Sasha finally reveals, what my problem is. I love you. You are who I want to be. I try to keep my fences up, my guard up. I don't let my emotions show, but I love you. And a lot of people, I felt nothing like this way, but a lot of people are taking that as, oh, it's a love angle. It's a lesbian angle.
Yeah.
I'm not even close to getting that vibe. It's like when I tell you, I love you. We're like best friends. I love you. It's not, say I was a female. It's not like, hey, we're about to have hot lesbian action.
Right.
Like, it was, this is my problem. I stay guarded. I don't let anybody in. I let you in. I tell you I love you. Okay, it's no big deal. People do that. But people just took that and ran with. People were weird. And who knows, that might be where they're going. I don't think so, and I hope to God not.
Now, wherever they're going to probably screw it up.
Yeah, and that was. It was. What I got out of it was, oh shit. Michael Cole voice, the boss. Finally let her guard down, and for a minute on TV vocalized, I'm a face. I have a heart. I'm not ruthless. I can love. Oh shit, it's going to be Bailey that turns on Sasha. Because it just screamed of sympathy for Sasha. Not any kind of weird romantic bullshit. Just, oh shit. There's a person behind the boss. God damn, Michael.
Right.
Like they're And yeah, they're probably gonna foul it up, especially since everybody's having a big to do about it. And even if they weren't thinking a lesbian angle, since that's been like the most talked about thing outside of Hogan, WWE might go, "Hey, people are talking about this. They must like it." That's not what anybody's saying. People are saying, "Don't do this," but it's trending. Must be popular. No, it's unpopular. It's being talked about because people don't like it.
Oh yeah. I mean, my Twitter timeline on some stuff, it just makes me wonder why I even keep this particular Twitter handle.
Yeah, I need to
That's why I
figure
like
out
my
how
other
to
Twitter handle.
violent wrestling podcast. No G.
Yeah, that Twitter handle is pretty much nothing but wrestlers and a few
And
friends.
me.
I said a few friends, that includes you.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
It does include you. So there.
But and watch them swerve us and do. I think this is leading, and I was steadfast against it going in about Bailey turning heel just to turn Bailey heel. Like give her, people will say give her, refresh the character. We'll give her. But now, after seeing that segment, like, oh, this could work too. I think it's leading to a match at SummerSlam with Hill Bailey versus Face Sasha. It'll
Right.
be the opposite of what they usually do in Brooklyn, which is Hill Sasha versus Face Bailey. It'll be completely different. But watch them do some bullshit, cookie cutter, copy paste, the shit we've seen before, even if that's Sasha turning on Bailey. We've been down that road, folks. It would at least be fresh. Same two participants, but it'd be something fresh. They're
Right.
going back to the whole holding pattern. Watch them. Nope. Hill Sasha face Bailey. And just have shit. I don't care. Keep them both face. Fins. I have Balor's abs on my mind. Baby oil. Where's the baby oil? Sorry. Um, friends fight. Best friends fight a lot.
Yes, they do.
You and I have actually never fought, but like, in person, like best friends. Unfortunately, I've never
Right.
met you in person, but maybe that day will come. But my in person best friends, my actual best friend in person, outside of my wife and my son, we've been in a couple of actual fights. Like it happens. Keep them both face, make them both heel. Who gives a shit? Let them fight. Quit with all this therapy and team up and get along bullshit. Settle in the ring, fight, work out your differences.
That's what Kurt keeps saying on Raw. You settle your differences in the ring.
Yeah, and unless it's this storyline, oh, can't talk about Raw without mentioning Ronda being suspended until actually it was supposed to be today. She was at Extreme Rules, but that wasn't Raw, and she bought a ticket, so yada 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 counts, and she interfered in a match, and blah blah blah. And then she showed up through the crowd, Shield style, at Raw, and interfered in a match, and yada yada yada. And for her defying her suspension and getting involved on Monday Night Raw, she gets another 7 days added to her suspension, and a women's title shot at SummerSlam against Alexa.
Of course she gets a title shot. All you gotta do is beat up everybody and you get a title shot.
In kayfabe, Kurt is the dumbest guy. He's just like it doesn't make sense. And I think this is leading to also a Kurt versus Corbin match at SummerSlam. But that it's even when they try doing shit like that, and I'll reuse something that it's so copy paste bullshit. Like it, even if it's not copy and paste, it doesn't make sense within the same show, the same 3 hours of Raw. Depending on what segment and what performers you're talking to, there's like in kayfabe a different set of rules or playing it by ear kind of, and that just doesn't really work for me per se. Like you can't have it. This happened, and these are the consequences. Then this happened, pretty much the exact same thing, and the consequences are completely different.
Right.
We haven't even brought up the elephant in the room, and that's
Yeah, but I don't think we want to bring up the elephant.
I was talking about dumbass Brock.
Yeah, I can get it. That can, yeah,
It's okay. The Universal Championship. We won't. I kind of said his name, but that everything else is just spinning circles. Okay, you're fighting for the IC title, basically. Yeah, we just went through two triple threats to become a number one contender. Two, but I'm hoping and hoping and hoping that after SummerSlam or the Monday after, since it was announced from Barclays it being in Raw, August 20th, I'm hoping he. This is what I'm thinking. He loses at SummerSlam to Lashley, Reigns, whoever wins next week. Braun could cash in. Don't really give a shit. Just get it off with Brock. And Brock shows up Monday, does his Brock smash, and really, I'm thinking Vince comes out. Vince himself comes out. You're fired, and we never see that fuck again.
that would be nice. I
I
did
mean,
see part of Raw where the audience was saying strip the title.
yeah, and yeah, they've confirmed that Brock will defend his title at SummerSlam. So, yay!
But it all
Woohoo!
depends on how much money they're going to give him if he's going to drop the title.
Oh, he'll drop the title. That's a misnomer. Brock will, one way or another, he's not getting out of either SummerSlam or the Raw after with that championship. If he wants to be a jerk about it and pull a Hogan and I'm not letting so and so go over, Vince will. And you know what? Screw you. We don't need you. Have a nice day. Go get your ass kicked in the UFC.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Vince. You can't on one hand say Vince is a callous, ruthless, do anything for business kind of person, and on the other hand say Vince will Vince is he won't allow this. Like, bullshit. Vince does what Vince wants. And apparently, since WrestleMania 33 up until, well, still now, Vince, for whatever effed up reason, wants the Universal Championship on Brock. But Brock showing up at UFC 226, I think, might have been like Vince's. Okay, we're done here.
The straw that
Maybe,
broke the camel's back.
yeah, I was gonna use that term, but like maybe we can move on. Maybe he finally saw, or enough research was done of, hey, Brock's not making that much money. No, and not only is Brock not making that much money, you might be losing a little bit of money because people don't give a shit about your product. I mean, last week we hit an all-time low for Raw ratings. Not this past Monday, but the Monday before. All-time low. Like, it was bad. And I might be confusing that with 2 weeks ago. Anyway, just this month, all-time low Raw ratings. Non-holiday Raw ratings.
Yeah.
And ratings, I know, don't mean squat when you just signed, all the billions of dollars on 2 different network deals, which is also scary because they don't have to change anything. They're making money. But at the same time, don't you want some more money? I'm not a greedy person by any means, but some people are, and I want to say as much good as Vince does outside of WWE and writing and all that. Vince is a pretty greedy guy. He wants it all. And if he can see a way to, hey, we're making this much, but we can make more, Vince is going for it.
Yeah, he's just trying to make his business a success so he can hand it over to his kids.
Right, and he's actually said that. This was a few years ago. That it's not even about him anymore. He actually quoted, and shit, I forget who did the quote. I think it was a Michael Jordan quote. Like, I want to make enough money, not just to take care of my kids, but my kids' kids, their kids, their kids, their kids, their kids. Like, basically, till the world ends, make enough money to take care of your entire, like, literally generations, hundreds of years from now.
Right.
Yeah, you make enough money to leave that it's there. But I can't give up on WWE. As upset as I get, for one, they always kind of pull me back in. Like, just when, like, fuck this, I can put it on, let Morris watch it, and I'll do something else. Like, there's always that one little thing, like, ooh, like Orton coming back. I know people, Orton's so bland, Orton's the worst, and blah, blah, blah. I like Orton.
I've always been an Orton fan.
Yeah, I freaking popped when his music hit. Like, oh shit, he's back. And then you see comments like, didn't even know he was gone. Like, well, I did. And that's without watching STL regularly. Oh. I don't know. That's where the habitual thing comes in. Yeah, I could put it on the TV, let Morris watch. I could do something else. But habit. They had, and this is with all wrestling because I watch WWE, New Japan. Like, there's always that chance something's going to happen. And I'll be damned if I'm going to miss it. And yes, I don't watch SmackDown, and apparently, I haven't watched SmackDown in the last 2 weeks. I'll put it that way. And apparently, some things have happened. I'm kind of on a data, not limit, but like I'll conserve. So I choose not to, and I do fear like I'm going to miss something special.
Right.
So, especially a week like this where you have a 5-hour pay-per-view, 3-hour Raw. Like I took a shit ton of data. But this week chose not to watch SmackDown. But I do worry, like, oh, I'm going to miss something. And they get you with that. Like, oh, what if you miss this and you go live? And you see it later, and like, oh, shit, I should have watched that. If that makes any sense at all. Which apparently doesn't. And I'm talking to myself. Hello? Hello?
You're not talking to yourself.
Now, it seemed like it for a second.
Nope, just had a little, sorry folks, had a little mic problem there, but I got that taken care of.
Oh. Well, now when you speak, you have like a little buzzing noise. BWP, BWP, BWP. And when's the next show you're going to for Rocky Mountain Pro?
This Saturday, I'm going to an episode of Charged. It will be taped and placed on their local Colorado station. But I'm looking forward to it.
I bet you are. I know you are. Is that the Quarry or the Tap House?
Who? It's at the Quarry.
The Quarry. Okay.
Yeah, the following Saturday, it's at the Tap House, which I'm going to go to as well.
I try to keep up. At least I knew both their names. I wasn't sure which one was which. This Saturday is the Quarry. Next Saturday is Tap House. I really wish we had them or something like them, more local, where I could get back to. It's one of the reasons why I watch other things outside of WWE, including Rocky Mountain Pro through Twitch. This takes me back to I don't know how to say it, but okay, this is wrestling. This is what I remember as a kid, or that kind of, and I don't want to call Rocky Mountain Pro because they're not low quality, but like the meat of what wrestling is. Wrestling
Yeah, that's pretty much what your independents are, the meat.
It's about the wrestling and the story progression. That's it.
Yes.
It's not. Yeah, you get promos and whatnot, but it's not 30-minute promos and yada yada yada. That kind of stuff. It's somebody may talk to, but when they talk, it's actually progressing the story. Just WWE anymore seems to talk a lot without really moving the story further along. It's such a rehash from. And we just seen this shit last week.
Right.
For instance, Extreme Rules, Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns. Lashley goes over. Monday Night Raw, we have 2 triple threats. The winner of each face each other next week for #1 contendership for Brock Lesnar. Triple SummerSlam Universal Championship. And guess who won? Bobby Lashley won his match, and Roman Reigns won his, which I'm perfectly fine with. But literally, the match they're about to have Monday, we just saw. Like there's no, it's same two people. Yeah, it was a good match, but there's no variance.
Do more with Drew. I mean, Drew's got this character now that is just awesome. Get him away from
Yes,
Dolph and let Drew get into the title picture.
yes, and I don't really mind either one of them, Lashley or Reigns, being in the number one contender, but you're doing the exact same match we just saw the night before. Like this big leading up feud of whose yard is it, and Bob this and Bob that, and you have this lead up to Extreme Rules and this good Hoss fight. Hey, let's do it again. Like you say, copy, paste, Control C, Control P.
Yes.
Um, anybody, anything other than what we just saw. Bobby versus Drew. Roman versus Seth. Hell, not something we saw. Again, literally just saw.
Well, I think we need Seth versus McIntyre,
That'd be
and
sweet as hell.
McIntyre turn on Dolph and take the title from Dolph.
And I want that too. I want him so desperately away from Dolph, like it's not even funny. Even though this is like the most interesting Dolph's been since like 2014, and even then he wasn't that interesting. You were there live in the crowd. You always rub it in. Oh, can't stand you. Things debut, Survivor Series 2014, so Survivor Dolph Ziggler, blah blah blah. Oh,
Yes, I love to rub it in on folks.
Especially me. I'm the biggest sting mark you'll ever find. Oh, I can't stand. Oh, see that? Oh, we do fight sometimes. Best friends. See, this goes way back to like 20, 30 minutes ago. Best friends do fight because that irks me that you saw that in person and I didn't. Anyway,
And the goosebumps, and just the goosebumps of when it happened.
I just talking about it like legit, and it's hot as shit outside. I'm getting goosebumps. Just go. And Triple H looking up at the Titantron, and it was just perfect. And then Sting comes out, and Triple H, that you couldn't hear him on the TV, but you could read his lips. What the fuck are you doing here? And seriously, I've got all the way up my neck goosebumps because that was so awesome. Now I forget what get me to talking about Sting but get him away from Dolph. Don't turn him back face.
No, keep the character he has now. Keep this character.
Then how does he turn on Dolph and stay? Because people loathe Dolph.
How do he turns on Dolph? Because he wants the title.
Like just be a ruthless bastard. Just
pretty much.
But I don't, and this goes back to copy paste. I don't trust them enough to tell that story without somehow making Drew face. It would take a whole lot of arcing in the writing to somehow get some sympathy on Dolph. That you could turn. You don't want to turn Drew, just turn Drew on Dolph. It would take a very overarching commitment that I don't think they would do or could do if they tried without fouling it all up. I'm going to go mute for a second while you follow up on that.
Okay.
I
Well,
mean, how do you think you can? I'll pose a question before I go mute. Um, how do you keep Drew Hill and break away from Dolph?
okay. Well, the easiest way I would say to do it is have little needling bit that Dolph is keeping his title and all of this stuff on his own when it's actually Drew that's doing it. And Drew just gets fed up with it and says he deserves better. And he goes right after the title. That's how he should do it. He should go right after the title. It won't turn him face. It goes with the character. He's had enough. He thinks Dolph is a joke. Or you can have it where Dolph starts acting like the ones that they say that they're fighting against. Drew doesn't like it. Turns on him, goes for the title. Or just keep him in a feud with Seth Rollins for a little bit because those two have the chemistry. I think they could pull off a wonderful, wonderful feud. So there's a lot of ways you can go about it, but you're right. If WWE can stick to it, stick to a storyline and get it done, that's the trick. And I don't trust them. It's like I don't trust them to bring Ambrose back and do something great with Ambrose.
And again, we both see how you could keep break Drew from Dolph, and keep Drew Hill. It's can they see it? Can they do it? Can they pull it off? It would be really like one thing, like have a triple threat match, for the IC title, Drew, Dolph, and a huge baby face. Like, just go down the list of, pure baby face. And somewhere in the match, Dolph and Drew are working together, and Dolph, annihilates the baby face, and Drew annihilates the baby face, to make sure like he's still a heel. And Dolph like thinks he got it in the bag, goes to cover the baby face. Drew pulls him off and pins Dolph. And Dolph's mad, and Drew just keeps annihilating the baby face. And I'm getting Dolph and Drew. You know where I'm going.
I know where you're going.
Okay, Drew just, lays them both out again. Just lays them. But leave the image of, once you kick Drew or kick Dolph or whatever, before you cut from that camera shot, make sure he's still beating up the face too. To remind everybody, like, I'm not turning face. I'm still a heel. I'm just done with him.
I'm done with him, and I'm going to get my dues because
yeah.
Because
I'll do this.
Has
I'll
this
do
big
this.
ego.
Yeah, I can do this on my own. I can do better on my own.
Ouch.
Oh.
I just popped my knee.
Oh. Well, it's Violent Wrestling Podcast. What do you expect? Injuries are going to happen.
That's true. Okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I just had it cocked. I was sitting on it, and my knee stiffened up. So I popped it when I stretched it out.
All those bumps you've taken over the years in the ring.
Yeah, I know. It's what I get for ultra-violent things.
Who calls for the light bulbs or the light tubes and all the chair shots?
And the barbed wire.
Oh, you can't forget the barbed wire.
Got to have the barbed wire.
You brought up Dean when I was on mute about his return.
Uh-huh.
That is the most, and we, and yes, folks, we will talk about Dean Ambrose like a lot, and that's what we do. Um, I so I I'll reiterate. I I just please 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 don't do like Seth or damn it, here I go with names. Dean returns and turns heel. Not immediately. If you want to do the hill thing, let that play out. Further
Do a
down the road.
slow turn.
Yeah, don't come back and do the Seth. See, Seth got injured and left as a heel. He came back as a heel. He didn't turn. He got a huge pop, ginormous effing pop, and he soaked it in and gave knowledge to the crowd. And then 2 sentences into his promo, we knew, oh, he's still heel. Dean got injured, left as a face. Bring him back as a face, at least for a little bit. Don't have him come back and chair shot Seth or Roman. You're ruining months of storytelling doing that.
Right. But I do want them to work eventually, not right off the bat, maybe work up to it, but in about a year's time, get back to doing a Seth and Dean feud.
Yeah.
Because they're
And
good friends, but they're better enemies.
knock it off with the lunatic shit.
Right.
Mainly, mainly Michael Cole, like every 2 seconds. He's a lunatic. He's a lunatic. We have to get it, Mike. Like, he's a lunatic and you're repetitive. We know those two things. Like, if nothing else, let him come back in some way, but kind of where you're questioning it, because that's like 2, 3, 4 months worth of programming right there. Like, kind of tweener. Like, is he mad? I wouldn't come back pure baby face. Like the first night, sure, save Seth from a beat up or whatever, pure baby face. Next night, have that question mark in everybody's head of what's his agenda here? When's he gonna? And it from there it just writes itself.
Yeah. Well, they can bring them. What they need to do is they need to, as I keep saying, when the Shield first appeared, they need that Dean back.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
need early Dean.
yeah. That's the craziest shit without being reminded on commentary every time that he's a lunatic and he loves to fight. He just wants to fight people.
That's it. And you don't have to drill that into people's head. They know that.
Yeah.
It's the character.
Same thing with Roman. Almost the same thing with all three members of the show, but the and that takes me out of it so much of the big dog. We fucking get it.
Know that.
Like,
Let it die.
yes. And it's cool that he's known as the big dog. We don't need to hear it 20 times when he comes out, any movie does, after the like and I know that's can't really blame Cole on that, but
He's told to do that, but
yeah, and it takes you out of the environment, like of the da da. It's the big dog. Which you just whatever's about to happen, you just took it down about 12 notches.
right.
We know he's the big dog. We know it's his yard. If they bring it up in promos like Bob and Roman did, that's one thing. Like Lashley, I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe last week. Your yard is a concrete foundation in a trailer park. Like that was kind of funny. That's not commentary in our ear. It's his yard, big dog. Like, yeah, God, and that's another role for me. Is commentary is just Corey Graves is so great. Michael Cole is actually good. If they would knock it off with this,
Well, Michael Cole's good if they're not yelling in his ear.
yeah, how he stands that shit, I'll never know. I will never ever know. You watch NASCAR like
Yeah.
I do, and these drivers are driving. Yeah, it might sometimes it's not, but most of the time it's a circle. You have 4 left turns, but there's also 39 other cars on the track with you, and you're constantly having a spotter in your ear, outside, outside, two back, up top, up. That would drive me fucking crazy. How am I supposed to drive and concentrate and steadily? And if it's not the spotter, it's the crew chief or somebody's always in your ear, and I'm just trying to keep the damn car straight. Take that, and then have somebody doing that almost that same thing, constant chatter in your ear when you're trying to talk. Big difference. It has to be easier trying to drive a NASCAR car with all the spotter and the crew chief and this and that, and you're trying to relay messages back and forth. Like, this feels off where I'm snug in the corner or I'm loose on turn 3. Take that and amplify it by however many to you're trying to get out a sentence, and at the same time you're trying to talk, you're being told something in your ear, because that shit's hard to. I couldn't imagine like having a sentence to say and somebody's telling you something else at the same time, if that makes sense at all.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense.
We've seen him like Beast in the East and stuff not have that. Michael Cole is really good. He should. It's so scripted anymore that it's not his fault. It's just the overall roll or copy paste main roster.
Yeah. Mm.
It's just I couldn't imagine having a job with. And I've done when I was a firefighter. I've done like dispatch before. I've been a phone operator. I've done like, but there's a stop in the conversation. I ask for information, they give me information. I ask for more information, they give me more information. It's not like I'm mid sentence and they're saying, "Oh, but there's also this and this and this and this and this." And don't forget about like sometimes there was, but it wasn't a constant. Like while I'm trying to call live action, kind of. I don't know how they do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, just one of those things that because I'd have to take my headset off and just have my mic up to my mouth, and there's no way I could try having a conversation with you, which Michael Cole's doing to the audience. While somebody's talking to me, in the background of make sure you mention this, do that, and there's no way. Like it would take me. I might get through a week or two and fuck this.
Right.
I'll go. I just credit where it's due. That especially Cole, he's put up with it for so long. Anyway, sorry, little.
That's okay. It's all part of the fun of doing Violent Wrestling Podcast.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yippers,
Uh,
yippers, peppers.
do you know any of the card for Saturday for Rocky Mountain Pro?
No, I don't know. I do know the Left Coast Gorillas are going to be there. The
Nice,
tag team champions will be there.
nice.
The well, with the Left Coast Gorillas being there, the Rocky Mountain Pro Charge champion Anaya will be there. The Rocky Mountain Pro champion Curtis Cole will be there.
Curtis Cole. Clap, clap, clap. Curtis Cole.
Curtis Cole. Clap, clap, clap. Can't forget Filter either.
Yeah.
Um, so it'll be interesting to see what's going on. Well, should be seeing Titus Machiavelli. He's a manager who could put Paulie dangerously to shame.
And don't get me lying because I couldn't remember, or I couldn't tell you at the moment what show, but when I finally got Twitch and found them, and he was doing something that, the outside of the ring kind of stuff,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, dude's good. Like I think I would send you a message, or we might have talked about it later through a Hangouts or on a pod. Like, damn, dude's got skills.
Oh, he is a manager you don't want to cross. He's a vicious, sadistic, intelligent manager.
Yeah, and I also made the correlation to that's like Pauline back in the day, but taken to 11.
Oh, yeah. And Titus Machiavelli looks like he can take care of himself in a ring where Paul dangerously did not.
Yeah, I mean there was like Paul was and still is like, dude, come on. Like seriously, I mean, and Paul was a tricky son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But like, being able to actually like, you know, well, let's go then. Me and you. Paul was never that. Machiavelli, on the other hand, like, yeah, I might rethink like talking shit to Machiavelli.
Oh, yeah.
we're good. We're good. Sorry, I didn't mean that. No, I apologize. Here's my wallet. Just take what you need. This round's on me.
Yeah, well, see, Machiavelli, his guy he's managing, this has a storyline going on with Curtis Cole. And Curtis Cole is playing the face in this one. He's a good face, actually.
Huh. Oh, okay. I really need to catch up. I'm behind a little bit. For one, it's not because I'm not trying. It's I don't know how to work Twitch, like at all. But
I'm still playing around with Twitch.
And I may have confused things just from. It might have been the first time I watched it, but I thought he was a heel. Or maybe I misinterpreted the match or something.
Well,
This
Cole,
was like,
I would call him more of a tweener.
okay.
I mean, he let's say what we could simulate as a house show, which is like when they do things at down Colorado Springs or at the Tap House.
Oh, I'm with you. It's not like canon.
No.
Okay, I'm with you.
And then he's more of a tweener, like
Okay.
when they do their show, which is charged. So
I'm with you. That makes.
But the best thing about this is they want to interact with their fans. They want to get the product out there. They're really big about that.
Yeah.
In fact, Matt Yaden said so today. They want to interact and get out there.
Right. And that's smart. That's good business. That's how you get your legs. You don't get
Oh
your
yeah.
legs by coming through the curtain, putting on a match, and going, back through the curtain. And thanks for coming. Like, no, interact with your fans.
And they're very good about interacting with their fans.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any questions that they want me to bring up to any of them, just email me at violentwrestlingpodcast@gmail.com and I'll see if I can get them answered.
The obvious first question. Do I have to email you, or can I just ask you here?
You can ask me here.
Bad joke. um, you know, what got them into wrestling? When did they, how, that kind of thing. That's the obvious first question. You know, who did they, if they watched wrestling when they were younger, who did they like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I am going to ask Curtis Cole about him going up against Braun Strowman.
Yeah, and I haven't been able to find that.
I'm not sure when it is. I'll talk to him and maybe he can remember the exact date. I'm pretty sure he did.
For those listening, this was when, like, the Braun going over, like, this
over the local talent. He was going over the local talent.
Yeah, like the Ellsworth time frame.
Yeah.
Just destroying people, when they really started hyping up the monster among men.
And the reason I found, and it's neat how I found this out, is if you go to Curtis Cole's Twitter page, which is at Killer Kurt Cole, his banner, you'll see him actually getting choke slammed by Strowman.
That has to be so much fun. Or it might hurt like hell taking a choke slam bump from somebody like Strowman. But that he smiled going into it and smiled going out of it.
Oh, yeah. So I do want to ask him about that.
Yeah. It's like and kind of like the Madison Square Garden house show a couple weeks ago, and Rusev. It was a 6-man tag: Undertaker, Roman, and somebody. Shoot, I don't remember. But Kevin Owens was on the other team, and Kevin Owens at Madison Square Garden got to take a tombstone and get pinned by Taker. That has to be one of the, as great as Kevin Owens has been, and everything he's done, that has to be one of the highlights of his career. Yeah, he got pinned. Who gives a shit? He got a tombstone from The Undertaker in Madison Square Garden. That's how I view things. And he kind of said as much, like, it's an honor to. I think that's how he'd view the Braun thing, but that would be a cool discussion to have, more detailed. I bet he was nervous. Butterfly.
I bet he was nervous before and nervous after, but not during.
Oh yeah. I'm saying, like, going into it, like, hey, we need you here. I bet he was a mess, and then got his composure, did what was done, and then afterwards, like, please, like, nervous again, like you say. I hope I did well. I hope I did well. That just has to be anxiety ridden. Before and after, during, like, but the before and after, like, especially before, like, oh shit, oh, this is happening.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Brady, of all people, says he still gets nervous before every game. So it's not a
Oh,
slight on Cole at all. It's like, who wouldn't be? Like, you're
oh,
kidding yourself if you're going to say, I wouldn't be nervous, lying ass.
oh, it was like me showing horses. Before I was going into the ring to show, I was a nervous wreck, which made the horse a nervous wreck. Once I got in the ring, I calmed down, got my mind on business. Everything went fine. And then when we got out of the ring, I was a nervous wreck again.
And on a far lesser degree, but kind of on the same plane, I'm the same way we're doing podcasts. I'm a nervous wreck going in. Once we go live, I calm down, talk. Once we go off the air, I'm a nervous wreck about, did I say this wrong? Did I say that wrong? Did I sound stupid? You know, that kind of nonsense.
Right.
Far lesser degree than you showing horses or being in front of millions of people taking a choke slam from Ron.
Oh, yeah. But I
And
think I'm probably one of Curtis Cole's biggest fans right now,
yeah, I know
along
you
with
all.
Filter. Along with Filter.
You really latched onto those two, and just from before I watched any footage, and just on the Rocky Mountain Pro website, I was like, "What's this West Coast Gorillas about?" Because they just looked, just their look was like, "Ooh, they look cool."
The most dangerous tag team in the world.
But you really latched on to Cole and Filter.
Cole and Filter and the Left Coast Gorillas.
Left Coast, I said West Coast, sorry.
Yep,
West
Left Coast
Coast?
Gorillas.
Yeah.
I'd like to know where they came up with Left Coast, though.
Ask them.
I think I will ask Anaya because you rarely get to see Hoodie because he's so busy. But I think next time I see Anaya, I'll ask them where they came up with Left Coast. They're from the West Coast, so I'm wondering if you're looking at it like if you're looking at the compass, you
Yeah.
have right, which would be east, left would be west.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, if you're looking at the map, like, you have your East Coast, right coast, and you have your West
West
Coast.
Coast is your left coast,
Yeah.
but I want to make sure.
Yeah. Because it might be something completely different. But just, I always assume, since I heard the name, saw the name, like, okay, they're from Cali. They're kind of playing on the West Coast thing, but renaming it Left Coast.
Yeah.
But it could have a completely different meaning. But to know for
Yeah,
sure
so
would be cool.
I'll ask Anaya the next time I see him. I'm not scared of asking to meet him anymore.
I
I
was
kind
gonna
of got
say
over
that.
that. It took me
Yeah,
a while, but I got over it.
nice.
And I got a Cassie in the lap.
More nice. At least she's not on your legs, making your legs fall asleep.
Nope. She's just hogging. I got to keep her paw off the touchpad because she keeps moving the pointer around.
The pointer.
Well, she does because she's got her paw on the mouse on the touchpad.
Cassie, be a good girl. Well, maybe mom. Maybe she likes. You're not my mom. I was speaking as Cassie. Just I didn't want to cause confusion. Um, Mom, maybe I like violence. I want to hear about some violent wrestling.
No, she just wants love.
Yeah,
My baby loves love.
I'm not sure unless you had any further to go with R&P, Rocky Mountain Pro. I'm kind of I'm pretty much not done with watching, but talking about WWE, New Japan. I know you don't watch, but the G1 Climax is happening now, and that's been cool. Like, it's been real fun to watch. A little bit I've been able to watch, but
Yeah, I need to get back to watching some of the more newer CZW stuff.
yeah, and I
Like
was
their latest Tournament of Death, I have to watch.
all same. Yeah, I've got to get back into that.
We got to live up to our name.
Yeah, we do. And there's a lot of going back to the WWE copy and paste or roll or holding pattern or roll. Like, there's a lot of other wrestling out there. It's not hard to find.
You just have to look.
Yeah, and I'm like you in finding Rocky Mountain Pro. Like, it's not, and I'm not saying like don't you dare watch WWE. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying like there's other options. There's
You can still
still
watch You can still watch WWE. You can watch New Japan and still see the independents.
yeah. Yes, that's a lot of time for wrestling, but when you have time or you want to go somewhere, if you're looking at hey, let's put a concert or what movies coming out this weekend, also take the time to hey, any wrestling, independent wrestling shows around this weekend or today, or it's out there, and there's plenty of goodness out there.
Yes, there
It,
is.
it's not all WWE or buzz. Like, check things out. You'll be surprised.
Like I was.
Exactly. I have no idea how long we've been in there. I know it's 11:30 my time. Have we
Yeah,
been
it's
on the air 3 hours?
we've been on the air about 2.5 hours.
Okay. This is one of our longer. I blame myself for talking so long about Extreme Rules. When I
Nah,
before we went on air, like I'm just going to skip through the matches and just say, but shit, it's kind of hard to, especially when the later topic was going to be, the holding pattern in WWE. I thought highlighting some of the stuff in Extreme Rules and then some of the follow up in Raw would highlight like the holding pattern thing, and here we are.
yep, here we are. I think it's we've covered everything we need to cover.
Yeah, I concur.
You want to you can do our plugs.
Nope, I don't have a list. I was gonna
Y-
say do the shout outs because I don't have my list.
I don't have a list either, so if I forget someone, please forgive me. I'm going to start with what I'm going to say is the one who got this podcast up and going in the first place. Shout out to Shooting the Breeze. I really highly recommend you listen to them. Connoisseurs of Wrestling is a great way to get back into the history. There's the Ruthless Aggression Era. Hey, I said it right. We have Roundhouse Wrestling, Two Guys, One Sport, Fizzy's Wacky World, my newest podcast, AA's Ramblings, and And why don't you tell us about your new podcast, Mox?
For one, I don't think Roundhouse Wrestling is a thing anymore. I just, I'm,
Whoa.
I'm, I'm sorry. We know the guy that does it, and I don't, I'm not sure where that is. But yeah, a few weeks ago, myself and I call him Greeny, Thomas Green, started a podcast through Smart, the Smart City umbrella called Whacked Out Wrestling. You can find us on YouTube through just search Whacked Out Wrestling, WHACKED, Whacked Out Wrestling, or Twitter at the Smart City, website, thesmartcity.com. And we go Thursdays uh, about this time, but just the next day. So Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'll talk a lot of wrestling.
And Tuesdays, I've said I've got 2 episodes in of AA's Ramblings, which is just me rambling about whatever comes to my mind. Because sometimes I feel like I just have to talk.
Which is, yeah, which is fine. Like AA's Ramblings are like it's legit. It's not a, it's legit AA rambling.
Yeah, it's what I do. I just ramble like I'm doing right now.
Hey, nah, but it's fun.
Yep. So, who knows what we'll be back next week around the same time.
Yeah, and
Yes. Yes,
thankfully,
folks.
yeah, we have a schedule. Holy crap! We went
Amazing that
from
we, after all these months, we finally have a set schedule.
our very first podcast was New Year's Eve of 2017 going into 2018, and it was so sporadic. And here lately, hey, Wednesday nights for both of us. Wednesday nights it is, so you can find us. Now the time may vary, but Wednesday nights or days if you're overseas would be Thursday, I reckon.
Something like that.
Yeah, we have a day at least, a set day. So Wednesdays, look out for Violent Wrestling Podcast.
Coming your way.
Take care, guys. Peace. Good talking to
Good
you.
night, everyone.